Engineer, something incredible just happened.
What happened?
There I was, walking down the street, and I noticed some poor schmuck had his hands full carrying a bunch of small items, and one of those small items was his wallet. He was so distracted by carrying all those items that he didn't notice when he dropped his wallet.
Well, you picked it up, right?
Of course.
And returned it?
Yes. After I took out all the cash. My point is, wouldn't it have been nice if he had a device that would allow him to carry more things?
Well, he could have just had a bag.
But he didn't need a big, bulky bag. He just needed something small to help him carry a couple more items.
I'm sure he also didn't need you to take the cash from his wallet.
Stay focused. He needed something like an extra pocket that can attach itself to any piece of clothing on any part of the body, that is flexible enough to bend with the user's range of motion. And the pocket should just as easily be removed when not needed.
Just buy some pants with more pockets.
Why would I buy one when I have the world's greatest engineer to solve this problem for me?
Oh, no. Appealing to my ego is not going to work.
Alright, fair enough. I guess this is too difficult of a problem.
You son of a bitch. I can solve anything. I'm in.
Too easy.
Okay, the first thing we've got to do is choose the material for the pocket.
What material is that?
Skin.
Oh god, it's human skin, isn't it? I knew this day would come. You finally cracked. Your nerdy virginity was just too much for your mind to handle.
What? No. Cow skin. You know what they use for leather?
Oh, thank god.
Leather is flexible and can bend to any kind of movement. But it's not very stretchy, so it kind of sucks as a pocket. So I need to find a stretchy material that I can attach to the leather. I settled with this partial nylon fabric that's super stretchy. Now, I just need to make a pocket. But it turns out, there's a lot of different ways that you can even make a pocket.
You didn't know that? Pfft, amateur. Of course you have your patch pocket, your cargo flap, your safari pocket, and your starfish flap, your Colombian necktie patch, and your tie-dyed banana flap.
You made those last ones up, didn't you?
Maybe. You'll just have to find out by purchasing the Pathos Professional Pocket Portfolio Program for just 3 easy payments of $299.99.
Moving on. I stumbled upon a YouTube channel called Quarter Leather.
In the video, he was making a leather wallet with a fabric inlay. I realized that if you just cut a slit through that fabric, you basically have a pocket.
So I made this pocket by using some leather and some fabric. I used some cheap canvas fabric that I cut a hole in to create a pocket, and that worked, unsurprisingly. But as you can see right now, it kind of just falls down when I try to place it on my clothes. Stupid bitch-ass gravity. So I need to figure out how to make the pocket stay on the clothing.
Using nails?
No. I was thinking of magnets.
You see, by placing a magnet on either side of a piece of fabric, the magnets will be attracted to each other through the clothing and will stay in place.
I can use this idea to have the pocket stay on the clothing. What I'll do is I'll create a second leather patch that is almost identical to the first one, except it won't have a pocket. Both of these leather patches will be embedded with magnets, causing them to be attracted to each other.
Will that work?
No idea, but let's find out. And there you have it.
You made those?
Yes, but I'll admit, it took me several tries to get it right.
The very first ones I made by hand, but they kind of look like Edward Scissorhands made them while having a stroke. So I decided to use my own CO2 laser cutter to cut the leather pieces.
Well, they don't look half bad. And you even got our logo stamped on the back of the patches. Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Thanks, and that wasn't even that hard to do.
All you have to do is soak the leather in water for a few minutes and then take it out. Then I take a stamp with a raised pattern. I used some acrylic where I laser engraved our logo onto the surface and then squeezed it into the leather for about an hour.
I can't take all the credit, because I learned a lot from some how-to guides on YouTube, specifically from the channels of Quarter Leather and Leather King's Goods. I thought that they made great videos on YouTube on the basics of leather crafting.
Yeah. Enough with the free advertising. Those schmucks aren't paying us. How about the pocket? Does it actually work?
Are you questioning my genius?
Constantly.
Fair enough. I conducted a series of tests to put the pockets to its limits. The first test that I wanted to do is find out what was the max weight that the pocket could carry before it falls off the clothing. I did this using this makeshift test rig that I built.
Look at that beauty. Looks like a kindergartner tried to build a swing set and gave up. Immediately.
Shut up. So I rigged up a plastic cup holder using some Q-tips and yarn. All I gotta do is pour the sand in the cup and... Oh, son of a bitch. Alright, this time it'll work for sure. Oh, thank God. After conducting 4 tests, the pocket fell down after carrying an average of 772 grams.
Now that may not sound like a lot, but the average pen or pencil is about 6 to 7 grams, and the average smartphone weight is about 120 grams, which means the pocket could carry 100 pencils or 6 smartphones. For the second test, I wanted to see if the pockets would still work if you were wearing thick clothing fabric that separated the magnets from each other. To do this, I simulated thick clothing fabric by using printer paper sheets.
I increased the number of paper sheets until the pocket fell, and then I recorded the thickness of the stack of the printer paper sheets. I did this with 0 weight in the pocket as well as 300 grams and 700 grams of weight in the pocket. The results showed that with no weight, the pocket was able to continue to work even when separated by a stack of printer paper that was almost 10 millimeters thick. A normal shirt has a thickness of about 0.5 millimeters, which means the pocket should still stay up, even when you're wearing a dozen shirts.
However, when you add weight to the pocket, the max distance the magnets can be separated from each other dramatically decreases.
At 300 grams, the magnets can be separated from each other up to a distance of 2 millimeters, and only 0.5 millimeters when the pocket was carrying 700 grams.
Overall, not bad. For the final test,
I wanted to see if the pocket would work in different levels of activity, ranging from sitting down to going on a run to doing jumping jacks. I also wanted to test those activities while the pocket was in different locations on the user's clothing. And if that wasn't enough, I wanted to do all those tests with different weight inside the pocket.
confused?
Very.
Don't worry, it'll make sense real soon. Or it won't. I don't really care.
Putting this all together, you can see I would have to conduct 90 different tests to fill out these 3 tables of all the possible scenarios. But instead of wearing only one pocket during a test, I decided to expedite the testing by doing each activity while wearing the 5 pockets at different parts of my body all at once.
But to do this, I have to create 4 more pockets. God, this is gonna take forever.
Oh, not with the power of... Where did I keep it?
What are you doing?
Shh, I have it somewhere. No, that's not it. Nope, no, that's not it. Still not it. No, no. Aha, here it is. Not with the magic of editing. And away we go. Ah, works every time. You're welcome.
God, I hate you. So much. Now all that's left is to test them. See you in a week. That's the most exercise I've done in my entire life.
Oh, what the shit, man. That was a week and 1 day. I don't pay for laziness.
You don't pay... Never mind. The results of the test were actually pretty interesting.
Starting off with 0 weight, the pocket was able to pass almost every test except for a few pockets that fell off during my run. When I added 150 grams into the pocket, we start seeing a lot more failures, primarily in the running and jumping jack portion of the test, where every pocket on my body fell off immediately. Finally, when the pocket was carrying 300 grams, it failed nearly every test except for when I was sitting completely still. And during the rowing machine test, when the pocket was on my right hip, which I suspect that's because that position of my body was the only place that didn't move a significant amount during the test.
And this reveals a major flaw in the pocket's design, which is momentum. Here, let me show you.
As I jump up, both the leather patches on either side of the clothing follow the movement of the body. This continues to be the case even when my body reaches the peak of the jump and starts coming back down. However, when my body finally reaches back down to the ground, the leather patch with the pocket and all of the weight has now built up speed and momentum. But not only that, it's going in the direction of gravity. So when my body reaches the ground and suddenly stops moving, the leather pocket detaches and continues in the direction of motion towards the ground. This is what I meant by momentum being the severe flaw in the pocket's design. You can see that the other leather patch on the inside of my clothes doesn't follow the leather pocket and instead stays in place for a couple of frames.
So basically, I wouldn't recommend wearing this pocket with a lot of weight and doing intense movements with sudden change in directions. But holding everyday small items and just walking around should be just fine.
Close enough. I can make it work.
What are you going to do with it?
I'm glad you asked.
Oh boy.
I have some plans in the future on how we can make some money on this. But before all that, we need to get this pocket patented.
You can do that.
Probably. How hard can it be? All that we need to do right now is to create a document that describes the invention in all of its technical detail.
And by we, you mean me.
Naturally.
Right. How do I even write a specification?
On the U.S. Patent Trademark Office website, there is a format and a template for how to write a specification. Now get to work.
God damn it. Alright, it's finished. It's a whopping 4 pages long and it goes through all the technical details of the pocket. I even drew my own patent artwork that took me like 6 hours. Do you like it?
Oh, I love it. It's almost too good for the patent.
That doesn't make sense at all.
So good, let me just make sure I save the artwork, that way I don't lose it.
Oh wait, no, that's your trash file.
Oh no! How could I delete them?
Well, that's alright, you can still restore it.
Oh no, now it's gone forever. Gosh dang it. Don't worry, I found an artist on Fiverr and I paid him, or her, I don't really know, $45 for these 4 figures that we can put in our patent specification.
Weird how you already had those figures ready.
Now that the patent specification is done, we can now submit the application.
Well, how long does it take to get approval?
Depends. If everything goes well and there aren't any issues, maybe 6 to 8 months.
Oh, that's not short. Well, what are you going to do with it after it's approved?
Oh, you'll see. You'll all see.
Who are you talking to?